In 1923, post-World War I, Germany experienced an economic crisis, hyperinflation, known as a crazy increase in the inflation rates. This was due to the Treaty of Versailles, which forced the government of Germany to pay for all the damage done by war. To give you a better picture, bread that costed 250 marks in January cost 200,000 million marks in November during the hyperinflation period. At the time, many citizens were looking for work as the munition factories had shut down. By demilitarizing the army, the German government unemployed many laborers, which brought up the unemployment rate. During the war, the citizens had been shielded of the economic crisis Germany was experiencing. Moreover, many citizens had purchased bonds, which the government could not pay back after the war. Citizens then proceeded to try to retrieve all their money from their savings accounts, which forced the government to print lots of money, because evidently there was no money to go around. The end result? Hyperinflation, because as we know through the monetary theory, increase in the money supply causes inflation. Soon savings were considered useless, and for many citizens, a lot of hard work and money previously saved now had little value. Since the value of money was decreasing by the day, people could not buy anything either. No one lent money, and no one would borrow money. Many institutions went out of business, and the government couldn't afford to provide the basic services previously provided. Their solution to pay back the Allies was to print more money and keep money in the system, which intensified the hyperinflation. To make matters worse, there was a general strike, which meant that no goods were being manufactured, a decrease in the aggregate supply. Now let's take a look at the stagnant 70s, a period of time with stagflation. Stagflation, being an increase in inflation and unemployment at the same time, was something unheard of before this phenomenon. According to the theory derived from the Phillips curve, it was believed that an increase in demand for goods would drive up the prices, encouraging firms to expand and hire more laborers, giving them higher incomes and more money to spend. That makes sense, right? Well, that's why the 1970s didn't exactly make sense, because there was both inflation and unemployment. There were many factors in play, but what was thought of as the most important of them was a hike in oil prices in 1973. OPEC had placed an oil embargo, which is a ban, on the countries on the West who supplied the Israeli military during the Yom Kippur War. This supply shock triggered cost-push inflation. In 1972, a year before the ban, the price of oil was $2.50 a barrel US, which increased to $11.50 US in 1975. This time period, however, was also affected by the recession and poor economic growth. Trudeau, the PM at the time, tried to take advantage of the oil crisis by creating the Crown Corporation Petro-Canada and restricting oil exports in Alberta. He also distributed Alberta's revenues from oil and gas to all the provinces. Fun fact, Albertans didn't actually like Trudeau at the time because they believed Trudeau failed to represent them properly. Inflation had spiked mainly as a result of the cost-push theory, but there was no equivalent decrease in unemployment.